All right, welcome back. We've got Doc here again. I'm the champ, and we're going to talk about Count Basie. Count Basie, uh, you know, King of Swing is one of the titles he has, also known as chairman of the board. Um, and he started out in Kansas City. And here's an album, one of the earlier albums. With Woody Herman and Lon Hampton on this one. This is a guest star record, so it's not it's usually got other things going on here. Yeah, but it's got let him have a taste, Half Moon Street, a square at the Round Table, Mutnick, Tennessee Blues. So those are a few on that one. What do you know about the early career of Count Basie?
Well, Count Basie was from Red Bank, New Jersey, and he got a gig playing with a band. I don't remember the name of them. And they had gone to Kansas City, and Kansas City was a real hot spot at the time for jazz. It was had a lot of Midwestern trade, agriculture, and cattle and all that kind of stuff. And so there were a lot of people going through, and that mean there were a lot of clubs. And so he went there with his band, and then the band disintegrated, as they do, and he stuck there. So he met the Moten brothers and got a gig playing piano for them, Benny Moten. And if you it very much influenced Count Basie and his kind of less is more thing. Like if you listen to the tune Moten Swing, it's really a precursor to the whole kind of Basie style. And so
Didn't he also use that as like his intro tune?
I think he did sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
And so but then he decided to start his own band, and he had that Kansas City sound, big swing, and the tunes would. One interesting thing to me about Basie is a lot of the tunes kind of follow a certain formula. They start off kind of mellow, and then they have this big shout chorus in them, but it works. It always works. Their tunes are awesome, and so he started his own band. And at first they were like a lot of the big bands in the 40s doing a lot of dance music, and then they sort of branched out to being a little less dance and a little more jazz.
Yeah, and just great big band stuff. I mean, I've got a ton of these records here. This is Basie at Berlin. I haven't opened this record, but he just here's Count Basie at the Savoy.
Yeah,
Guest artist Billie Holiday,
yeah.
Lester Young.
There's
Lester Young
Moten
did a lot
Swing.
with him.
Yeah, there's Moten
Swing
Swing.
right there in the front, theme song, right?
Yeah,
So, and the closing too. He had Buck Clayton. I mean, he had all these great artists. Joe Jones, Freddie Green. All these people played with him through the years, and he had great people and great
um,
writers. I know there's the,
uh,
but yeah, Basie in the Bag and his orchestra. Um, it's crazy cover thing, but it's got Mercy Mercy on it. Hang on, Sleepy. A little bit more. This is probably more '60s, but Don't Let the Sun Catch You Crying. So he went in lots of different directions. I mean, he wasn't afraid of playing some of the pop tunes, right? And this is later. This is on Pablo, which was a Norm Grand's label that Norm Grand's decided to try to bring all these guys back, and they all did. They all came back and recorded for for Norman. Basie Beat, uh, introducing Richard Boone.
is that the Richard
I
Boone
know.
Paladin?
It might be. It might
Well,
be.
well, you
Boone's
look at
Blues.
that. So yeah, Basie always had top flight musicians, and most of the great musicians of the day played with him at least for a while. Some of them played with him forever, like Freddie Green that uh, Champ mentioned. He was his guitar player. His nickname was Father Time because he basically always just played quarter notes going junk 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 junk, and he just locked down that rhythm section. And
Kept
on a
everything
lot
in
of
the
jazz
pocket.
band charts, it will say on the guitar part, it will say uh, a la Freddie Green. Like play this, you got to play this like Freddie Green.
Oh wow. So here's Count Basie with Sammy Davis, Our Shining Hour, arranged and conducted by Quincy Jones. One of the things they say about Basie is that he kept it simple. You know, he would use the 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 lack of sound between notes, or use the rhythm. You know, and sell it that way. And
His mantra was less is more, and
here's Basie Straight Ahead.
that's one of the all-time classics. I mean, Basie did a ton of albums, but Basie Straight Ahead is uh, one of the all-time great. That and Atomic Basie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Let's see. Well, maybe I'll get there.
okay.
I'll try to move a little faster. Here's Count Basie and Benny Goodman from Broadway to Paris, and that's a four sides. Uh, Hello, young lovers. But you know, not everyone was quite willing to play with him. They already knew he
Well,
was
and one of
solid.
my all-time favorite Basies is Basie and Sinatra at the Sands.
Oh, me too.
Musical director is Quincy Jones.
Right. Yeah.
And it has a version of All of Me on there that is just so awesome to listen to. It's amazing, and of course it's live, and
Yeah, you got Sinatra telling jokes, and it's yeah, that's just another great record. But here's Basie plays Hefty, and
Neil Hefti, who is a great arranger and writer.
Batman theme, but many other tunes.
Lil Darlin, I think.
Mm-hmm. Right. Um, Basie's Best, a collection of immortal performances. 1 O'Clock Jump, Red Bank Boogie, It's Sand Man, Jimmy's Blues, The Mad Boogie, Avenue C, The King, Taps Miller, Rusty Dusty Blues, and Rambo.
So let me throw this in. I knew a guy that played with Basie. He was a trombone player, and he had played, as we all do growing up, you play tons of the Basie charts. And so when he got the gig, he thought, oh, this will be all right. I already know these tunes. But he said that the way that they did the push-pull of the horn section, push-pulling against the rock-solid rhythm section, he said he felt completely lost. He's up there playing these tunes he's played a million times, but that's how, kind of specific their stylistic playing was.
So there's another one. This is 16 Men Swinging, Count Basie. This is a nice collection of, it was a reissue, but a nice collection of Basie stuff. So there's so many good ones. I mean, I obviously didn't see a Basie record I didn't like. April in Paris, with Ella Fitzgerald.
Awesome records. And of course, one of the funniest uses of Count Basie was in the beginning of Blazing Saddles, when Cleavon Little is out in the middle of the desert, and he comes upon the Count Basie band playing April in Paris. It's so funny.
Yeah, get all these guys out in the middle of the desert, and I don't know how they probably did the arrangement somewhere else. I mean,
This is another one of an album. Like, if you're going to get one Basie album, Super Chief is a really good one to get. It's got a lot. It's a double album, and it's got a lot on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really great.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned Sinatra and Basie. There's Sinatra and Basie. Performing Pennies from Heaven, Please Be Kind. Nice Work If You Can Get It. So wonderful musicians and fantastic singer.
I saw the Basie band several times. Unfortunately, never with Count Basie. He had already passed when I saw him. But the first time I saw him was in New Orleans at a jazz educator conference, and I said to my friend, I said, well, I hope they play a lot of the old classics, because that's what I'd like to hear, having never heard them before. And they get up on the bandstand and they said, well, the airline lost our music, so we can only play the stuff that everybody has memorized, which meant it was all the classics. It was, I'm going, cool. And
here's Count Basie with the Mills Brothers. So a lot of different. And here's Basie swinging, voices singing. Alan Copland singers. I don't know on that one, but yeah, the people were quite willing to record with him. Here's Easing It.
And that has a lot of stuff. It's all Frank Foster,
Right.
who's an incredible writer and arranger. You know, so that's definitely a great one.
Mm-hmm. Here's the Count Basie Band with Joe Williams and the Dizzy Gillespie Big Band at Newport. So that's another great one. I mean, they just standing ovation. Count Basie, 3 hours of Basie recordings live at the Tropicana Hotel in Las Vegas. So yeah, he did hang out in Vegas there toward his later years, just because you always had an audience.
Now this Montreux 77, there is also a video. I assume it's still available. I think I got it on DVD a while back, but it's live, Montreux 77. And of course, they're not really young men anymore, but it is just an incredible example of what they're doing. Butch Miles playing drums. Al Gray does trombone, and
Ray Brown bass.
Yeah, Ray Brown playing bass. I mean, it's just
Roy Eldridge.
Crazy.
Yeah,
how great that is. So if you get a chance to see that live stuff,
yeah, there's a lot of from '77. I mean, Norman Granz must have just been set up during that festival and just recorded. First time the Count meets the Duke.
Yeah, Count Basie and Duke Ellington. People used to say when I was, growing up learning how to play big band jazz, they would say that first you learn the Count Basie stuff. That's like going to college, and then you'd go to Duke Ellington, and that's like going to grad school. But you couldn't do one without doing the other.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think Count Basie gets enough credit. I mean, even though King of Swing and all the other labels they've given him. I mean, I think a lot. It's like all the local high school bands. They all go back and do the Ellington thing, and so Ellington gets a lot of notoriety. But Basie just has so many great tunes. Here's Tail Cotton. Is that right?
Tall Cotton.
Tall Cotton. Okay. But just so many great tunes that are just, you play it and you just go, yeah, give me some more of that. Here he is with Louis Bellson and Ray Brown, J.J. Johnson, Harry Edison, Eddie Davis, Zoot Sims, and that's another Pablo.
I met Ray Brown on the golf course in West Seattle one time. It was pretty weird. And he witnessed my almost hole-in-one. And I thought, oh my God, this will be great. I'll get Ray Brown to sign my scorecard for my hole-in-one. But it turns out it lipped out. And so...
Yeah, this one's got some great ones too. Joe Pass on here, Clark Terry, John Hurd.
I met Clark Terry too.
Here's Prime Time. And this is like what I was saying. Well, Pablo, when Norm Granz did Pablo, man, he leaned hard on Count Basie and did a lot of recording.
Well, I think it wouldn't be easy, but the fact that they did all their recordings live, they just played. They weren't doing a bunch of overdubs and a bunch of engineering. They just set up the band and played. So, they had hundreds of tunes to pick from. So he could just keep cranking out the albums.
Mm-hmm. No, they did. And I enjoy most of them. Here's 88 Basie Street.
This has Blues Machine on it. Great tune. I mean, they're all great tunes, but it's Blues Machine is one of my favorites.
All right. And here's Satch and Josh, which is Count Basie with Oscar Peterson.
Nice combo.
Lester leaps in, doing some of the jump in the woodside, some of the classics. Um, and there's another one they did, Satch and Josh again. So yeah, Basie, great stuff, and a fun one to delve into. You might not want to delve in as deep as I've delved, but
It's over delving.
over delving. But you could look up the top 10 and go, yeah, try to pick those up, and it's one you can find. I mean, they're out there. If you go looking through the stacks of wax, you can find a lot of good Basie in there, because he did a lot. He was prolific.
I would say if you want to delve, you would start with some of my favorite tunes: Splanky, Lil Darlin', Shiny Stockings, and the Frank Foster arrangement of In a Mellow Tone, which is a Duke Ellington tune. But when Basie did it with this Frank Foster arrangement, the legend is that Duke Ellington said, "Oh, that's the arrangement I meant to write." I don't know if he really said that, but it is a great arrangement. And so, they're just all these great tunes. Flight of the Foo Birds, Basie Straight Ahead, and they're just so fun to listen to and so fun to play, you know. So all the tunes kind of take you on a journey,
Is it a sentimental journey?
Yeah, sentimental journey. So,
but yeah, no, I feel the same way. It's just all good stuff. I love big band. Unfortunately, we're in a world where big band, you got to listen to it at the high school and college level, because there's not a lot professional out there where they're going to have, oh yeah, let's pay 30 musicians to do it right. I did recently just see the Seattle Jazz Repertory Orchestra, which was local solid senders, performing some Jimmy Smith and Oliver Nelson, and was a great. They had a great B3 organ player, and it was fantastic. But you don't get to see that very much. There isn't a lot of professional big band jazz, because it's too expensive to put on, right? I mean, to pay that many musicians.
yeah, you could just get a DJ.
Let's get a DJ, right?
Unfortunately.
Get one guy, yeah, it's great.
Well, the Basie band does still exist, and if you get a chance to hear them, they are, they play exactly as they should, as you would expect, with a Basie band. But they're still out there, and if you get a chance to hear them, I would really recommend it. The same with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, which has continuously been in operation since Glenn Miller ran it. And
or any big band jazz. If you can get
yeah.
a big band jazz out there of any kind, go get it. Go check it. It's fun stuff.
It's like nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our Basie deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.